Republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, people, welcome to the February Mount Jewett Borough Council meeting. We will start as always with citizens wishing to address council.
Well, I would just like to say that we had a very successful event Saturday, the Trail Club in the State Park. Becky and Ed Smith were full up out at the motel. They actually had to they called up to Kane for the sled dog mushers and tried to get some extra rooms there. I guess when these mushers go out, they bring their whole family, so there was a whole bunch of them. And Kelly was there representing the coalition, which was really nice. Kelly and Robin and Annie. And Earl, don't forget, Earl was there, yeah. So we had a really good time. We hope to make this an annual event. And it was great to have all the support from the community, the people that did come out. And I wish I knew more of them that were there, because everybody was so bundled up, it was kind of hard you couldn't go around saying, who are you, so anyways. Do you want to wait till this comes up on the agenda, for?
No, you might as well bring it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know how much you know about what's going to be done this spring. Obviously, we're going to try to get the section between Mount Jewett and 219 finished. Janie French from Headwaters Charitable Trust has a grant to do road crossing signs for the Knox and Kane all the way from Mount Jewett down to Clarion. Cushaqua Avenue and Route 219 will be two of them that affect us, our group basically. And if you look at the one that has kind of the limeish green yellow sign, if you get a chance to look at that, that's what color they're going with. We would like to have signage down on Center Street because those are kind of blind areas there, and I'm just afraid a kid's gonna go whipping out. I know last summer we didn't have an incident, but someone said, well, it was a little, sketchy. So what I wanted to suggest to the council, if you were willing to pay for the signs, because I think the municipalities are supposed to on the streets, and Cushaqua is going to be done that's a state road, that's going to be done under their grant that they have, so we don't have to worry about that one. So the lineup that you see on here is the way the signs will be, and they are doing the fluorescent yellow-green, but they're very expensive. I would be happy with just your ordinary yellow colored ones with reflective, So what I did was I put together, we'd actually like to have two signs. The top one on your thing there has your crossing, and then it says 100 feet because we don't want to put a sign right where the trail crosses Center Street, because we have our trailhead sign there and you've got the railroad, so it would be back a little ways and it would say 100 feet. And then on the other side of the road, which I know isn't always normal, on the left-hand side, just kind of where our stop sign is there, I'd like to have one that's the same setup, but instead of the 100 feet, it would have the arrow that would say trail is right here, because there is some confusion on that. So all I wanted to do was present to you, this is all on one post, these three signs, the way they're set up. And like I said, the other signage that cross the rail for the rail will be this color. I'm not so concerned about that. I would like to see these, and I did look up sign prices. You guys probably have a place you get signs. Are you with the Prison Industries or not? No. Okay, because they're very inexpensive. And the two signs that the two companies I could find was Road Traffic Designs
Robin.
and Call Signs. So to have that, to be able to get that same layout. So we're just asking if you would be willing to get signs. Again, I'm not as concerned about that they match all the other signs on the trail as Brenda is and Janie French and all of them. I would just like to see.
What is the difference? I don't see a price on the greenish ones.
Well, because to be honest with you, this was just a sample. of what they're gonna be doing. I could not find all these signs in the fluorescent yellow and green, but they're getting their signs through the prison industry, so apparently they have a way of getting them like that, so I don't know if Barb has to look these up or who would be looking them up, but good luck.
They're going
finding
away
them.
from all the yellow ones, they're going to those, like all our crosswalk
Yeah.
signs are now that color.
This is actually, if you go down to Westline and you see where the trail crosses the road down there, that's what they put up. This is really this, I guess would you say standard or
Wonder why it'd be so much
the
more.
regulation.
Probably because they mandate that it's that color, so they charge a premium for them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't wanna deviate from that if that's what everybody's
Well,
going.
it's gonna cost no more than the crosswalk sign. However, my thought on this is because that sign that's gonna be 100 foot away is gonna be here on this side of the railroad tracks. I wouldn't wanna put it up until after the sidewalk project or in coordination with it,
That's
because
fine.
we're gonna be digging this whole sidewalk up, we put it in, they're gonna tear it down again. So I'm not saying, my thought is order them and have them, maybe the far one, even though there's only like 2 cars that come out that other side.
I know.
At this side here, it doesn't make a lot of sense to put it in and then have to rip it down for a
Right.
couple months
No,
and
that's
get
fine.
damaged.
And maybe that would be covered in your project or not?
No, it's too late for that, but
Oh,
just
okay.
give the contractor the post and the sign, and I'm thinking those signs are probably gonna be about $100 to $150 per sign. Ballpark, I would assume,
Really, for these?
probably. They're probably
I
the
don't
same
know.
size as those, whether crosswalk stop signs are like $80, $85, something
I
like that.
found one of the signs, it might have been the diamond shaped one on the top, and I found one of those in one of these companies and it was 75.
Okay, well, if
Yeah.
you
did
give
I
one
put
of
that?
those to Barb, when we get to that point with the project,
Okay.
we'll get it priced out from our guys, and just, you remember it, cause chances are, somebody will forget.
No, that's fine, but I just wanted you to be aware, that's what'll be on Kushiqua Avenue, of course, on both sides, coming up and down. And, you know, like I said, I really could care less what color they were, but I think, you know, that's up to you guys if you wanted to go along with all the other signs, plus, I don't know if that's what they are switching to. So, anyways, that's just our request, and,
You guys gonna buy this one, so you'll need a motion.
Oh, motion.
Motion made. Who's second?
Robin.
Robin second. All in favor?
Aye.
well,
Or
they've got
that.
a better one, actually, cause this kinda had a.
Robin,
order on it.
congratulations, that's your first official motion.
There you go, Robin.
I think you guys would benefit.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I think it should be the same as what the rest of them are.
Oh, I think so,
Yeah.
too. You don't want to look
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
We don't wanna be
You want this,
different,
this,
right?
and this. Is that
Yeah, that's the proper color on
This,
the other
this.
side.
Yeah, when
That's
she
the
asked,
layout
it's like,
that
well,
we
that's
want
borough
on the other
property.
side.
That's not borough property, it's borough right away. It's not
Well,
borough property.
very well. So it was like, you need to bring it here and,
Push comes to shove, Kushiqua Avenue is too.
No, they haven't signed the paperwork.
Well, that's what.
so,
I'm not
we,
pushing that.
so we don't sign until after they put the signs up.
It's winter maintenance,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
Okay,
When-
Carol,
yeah,
do
you're
you
right.
have anything else?
No, that was it, thank you. I gave you a card so you could go on our website and look at the sled dog pictures, and I'm still loading them up, so give me a couple days to get them all on there, but, I think that's it. Well, you guys don't have to worry about, well, how do I wanna say that? We will be bringing a truck in with the TSA material down onto Hacker Street and dumping in that area there that we cleaned out. If that has to be bonded or anything, we'll be taking care of that. So I don't know, do we need any other permit or anything from you guys? We just start working, right?
Yeah, that's, might be even considered local delivery if it's
Yeah.
just doing that, so they probably don't even need a bond.
Right,
Okay.
they're not hauling stuff in and out.
No,
So
they're
just
just
delivery
Right.
to TSA, so it should be good.
Right.
Cause we even thought about we could come down the end of Division Street if that was cleaned up, but,
I wouldn't do it.
Please don't do that.
Don't get stuck in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, well, thanks.
That's all, thank you guys.
Annie, you have anything?
No, just the fact that I just noticed my watch has reset itself and it's January 1st.
Well,
Happy New Year!
It's Groundhog's Day. Everyone back. Alright. Callie?
just to report for Hilltop Heritage Coalition, we received our official letter for 501c3 backdated to September 2020. Thanks to Jason Hughes for filling out the 14 million pages, to get that official. Spring Fling has been, officially, created, for May 21st. This will be our second annual Spring Fling. That is the weekend after the gun bash at the fire hall, so don't be confused. It's two separate events. Similar thing to where we have vendors and food vendors and everything at the fire hall, and then yard sales throughout the town. So look for it on Facebook. If you're interested in being a vendor, let me know. I can get you the form. Murals on Main is moving forward. Linda Myers is heading that event to the Murals on Main are sticky, I don't know, Cleons, I guess, on the bare windows on Main Street to highlight nature, highlight the bridge, highlight the trains, etc., highlight the library even, pictures that have been chosen by the committee. So that's actually exciting to kind of liven it up for the springtime as well. That's good for Hilltop Heritage. Library, I've been there officially a month now. We have added over 80 books to the collection. We've been updating and everything. We had a grant submitted last week that Barb helped me on to get tables in the back area for us to have outdoor programming. 3 of them, round tables, etc. One of them being ADA, so our fourth one being ADA compliant, but then also a tent, a canopy that's a 10 by 30, so that the library can do outdoor activities and it has walls and a heater as well, so that we can do activities no matter what the weather is providing us on that day of. Also to have book sales, etc. So we're excited about that grant. That was a $5,300 grant that's going to be awarded to our library for that project. So it's pretty much a no-brainer to get that money.
Congratulations.
So yeah, that was due within like a week of me starting, so that was kind of a crazy. I felt bad for Barb because I'm like, okay, sorry to throw this at you. I just want to make sure this is our property back there. So thank you for that. And and we run the cane paper, so that's exciting too. So that's always fun, and I think that's good for the library. So thank you.
Okay, excellent. Okay, no public comment, we'll move on to mayor's report. Madam Mayor.
I had a nice conversation with Lori earlier today. We talked about just how I can be supportive of her efforts in code enforcement, and sat down with former Mayor Annie to talk about some protocols and got some more information. Thanks again, Barb had given her information, Barb gave me more information, so and I am meeting with Keene Mayor Brandon Schimpf this week to talk about some things that are going on in Keene and how we can potentially collaborate, so that'll be good.
Okay, excellent. Motion to accept the mayor's report.
Motion.
Frank,
I'll
second.
second.
Chris seconds. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, you have a maintenance report.
Brad, as far as, something to add that he didn't put in there is I had him go down to Phillip Street. Why they set, when they put that development in, why they set that fire hydrant so far back there
Yeah.
between the actually 2 houses, you know, and they shoveled it out, but they had all that snow where, when we plow around there, so I asked Rick if he could down with the backhoe and dig that out so they could get into there if they needed it.
Well, the Aqua redoes that street, which I'm assuming won't be too distant future. They always contact me and, you know, we got a pre-construction meeting and where we'd like fire hydrants added or moved or whatever, and we usually get with the fire chief and stuff with that one.
Yeah,
That
just like I
happens.
said, I don't understand.
Get it out
why
towards the
they put
street,
it where they did.
No, I was, talked to Dan Edgar about it, he was the water guy back then, so.
I have a question. When the snowplow goes through, if somebody digs out their fire hydrant, the snowplow goes through and covers it back up, who's responsible for that?
Well, we're gonna talk about that when we get to the fire hydrant, but as far as main streets, I mean, the state throws it back, and side streets, policy's always been, we've asked the homeowner, if you have one on your property, please dig it out.
Right.
You might need it sometime, but it's, when I was in the fire department for years,
219.
They're on Route 6. Yeah.
Route 6.
Yeah, that's just responsibility of the homeowner or the fire company.
What if your homeowner is an elderly person, you wouldn't expect them to do that?
No.
Yeah,
Well, we'll get into this when
Yeah.
we get down to the
Fire.
fire department, or the fire hydrant summer removal on new business, but we'll talk about it.
I motion the maintenance report.
Okay, second,
I'll second it.
Chris Carter, all in favor,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries. And the code enforcement report, if she has anything that is actionable. I'll entertain motions.
I'll motion.
Motions,
Second.
Chuck seconds.
Barbara, did she say that she is comfortable with that camera?
She hasn't complained about it, so.
And it sits nice on her vest and everything? Because I just haven't seen, so I was just curious
I've
if
seen
it
the
became
video,
cumbersome or
it's very
something like
clear.
that.
Pardon me?
I was just wondering if it became cumbersome or something like that.
Mm-mm.
Great.
So good video and audio.
Pardon me?
Does it have audio as well?
Yes.
Excellent.
Motion been made, second, all in favor,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries. Barbara, your time to shine.
Oh, we got the bids in for the sidewalk project. They actually came in almost $28,000 less than what we were granted. So that gives us a little leeway. The solicitor looked over the contract and approved it, and everything's been signed off. So it looks like we're a go to start production the first part of April.
Congratulations, guys.
I did notice when I was doing the Sheets bills that we were not getting tax exempt, fuel. I've been in contact with, Sheets and had it changed. I also, sent the forms in to the state of Pennsylvania to collect the taxes back that we paid on it. I have a grant that's open until April 6th. I sent all you guys the information on the grant. If we have a project, we can put in for it. Right now, I don't have a project. I need something that's shovel ready, that, you know, when you put it in, you have to have everything in order. I have to have something like an engineering thing stating that this is where we're putting it. Set amounts on what things are gonna cost before you apply for the grant. You can't just go, hey, I want 50,000 for this. But I sent that all to you guys so you could see what the grant is. All my reports for 2021 have been filed. I'm supposed to start my audit next month. And so everything seems in order.
Question.
Yeah.
Am I understanding you correct that Sheets does offer tax exempt billing?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I thought in the past we always had to file to the state for tax reimbursement.
I don't know what they did when I wasn't here.
Okay, well,
But
that's good.
I got a hold of those people at Sheets
Yeah.
and their tax part, and I sent the forms, they sent me forms, I sent them back in, and they
Great.
said that they would take
Yeah.
care of it, so
Okay,
whenever it starts, then I'll take everything.
thanks for
from
catching
this
that,
year.
because that's a big
It's
chunk
almost
of change.
$900.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll motion to accept the borough manager report.
motion been made,
I'll second it.
Chris seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carried. And no corrections or additions to the minutes, it will be approved as presented. Treasury report and payment of bills. Looking at that, it'll hopefully only be broke till next month. But there's also, there's mechanisms and ways to beef up the general fund if need be. We just, Barbara hasn't moved money, it doesn't need to be moved to reimburse for certain projects. As long as we can do it out of there, we save them in our savings accounts.
Barb, the certified letters, are those all for code enforcement?
Yep.
motion to approve the treasurer's report and payment of bills.
Chris Pratt motion. Tom seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And on committee reports. Maintenance in the building, Tom.
Not much other than, getting to help the fire department out with the, fire hydrant down there, and then, discuss, as far as streets, keep things cleaned out, and we had it in the report as far as making sure the drains were opened up the best they could get them, when it started thawing there. Otherwise, they've been pretty busy on taking care of streets.
I did come down in January and move the snow in the business district here, downtown, and also, instructed the guys to go up the store, move a pile of snow that was, blocking in lines of sight getting out of the grocery store, and also have them move snow down to the Legion. And, I've heard complaints, and you're going to, the way I look at it, the Mount Jewett Chursay or Mount Jewett Marketplace and the Mount Jewett Veterans Memorial Club do more business than just about anything downtown, short of the post office and the coffee shop. These buildings downtown, we have a laundromat, and that's about it downtown. It's more for parking lanes. So I figure if we can do that there, we can do it for the other businesses. We do it on street corners and every place else we can. So that's, we've been moving snow for years. We move it in the cemeteries, we move it all over. It doesn't make sense to exclude. And if I called Mr. Myers, we didn't get up by the old gym. I was unaware that anything was going on there, just trying to get the choke points. He ended up doing it in the middle of the night. He got a hold of Tom. Tom got a hold of me and said, yeah, we'll talk to the guys, get it done. And he moved it in the middle of the night. Let him know, I mean, to slight him, we would have got to it, but I started at 2 in the morning when I moved snow by myself, and if you're not off the road by around 5, it gets really tight, really busy with the traffic coming, and that big backhoe, you gotta get out of there so it don't hurt anybody or, damage any equipment. So I'll let you guys know, I did, that's, last couple of years after any storm, I just help the guys out, cause they don't have time and you can't do it during the day. So, just so they get on that. Finance and insurance? Okay. Personnel, Chuck?
Yeah, today I had an impromptu short meeting with all 4 employees. I saw yesterday that I had an opportunity to call for such a meeting, and Barb was very gracious in contacting the other employees. Unfortunately, Tom's work schedule conflicted, but I thought it was a good, productive meeting, albeit, brief, and I'm happy to report that the morale amongst the employees is very good to excellent. There weren't any major concerns on their part. I expressed to them my appreciation, especially to the maintenance guys, for the work that they're doing as far as snow removal and what's going on there. And Lori and to Barb, our appreciation for her stepping into the position of borough manager and what that means for the borough council to have that frontline management and administration. I expressed to them that while no one is irreplaceable, we certainly value and appreciate the effort of our employees, and I believe, not I think, not maybe, not, I firmly believe that we have good quality people who value and appreciate their job and what they do working for the community. And the one thing that I took away from it, not necessarily in what they said, but just in casual open discussion, the one thing I did take away from is I was reprimanded for not bringing snacks, and I'll not make that mistake again. I will bring. I should have thought to give him a lifesaver.
Yeah.
But anyway, and this is for the general public, but it's also for the council. If we hear a complaint from the public about an employee or a situation that maybe has taken place, instead of, just going to these people, or especially to social media, we have protocol and we have standards in place, and that's the borough manager is first. And then if not that, I am the personnel chairman, Tom is on the committee, and this is where these things should start. They should not, there should be a respect and a protocol for the employees in general, as to not just assume they're guilty until we've looked into something, because we're going to get complaints. So one thing I stress to them, and every time we meet like this, I do, it's that the metaphor or analogy I use is, it's like a big aquarium down here.
Fishbowl.
Hmm?
Fishbowl. We don't call it an aquarium.
We call it a fishbowl.
Well, no, but
Sorry.
but a bigger,
Sat through some of these meetings. I
no, a bigger fish bowl takes in more fish. Okay, more fish, and when people, there are a lot of people in town who don't give a rip and never look at the aquarium. They don't care what's going on. They don't even care if there's anything alive in there. But then you have people who will look at a specific living creature in that aquarium, and they're going to watch that living creature until they find something to say about. And when you're in the public eye, whether it's in a paid position or volunteer position, this is going to come up. But there's protocol, there's proper decorum to address these things without it turning into a brouhaha, especially in the social media. So anyway, that was probably, and really that wasn't so much an issue that they brought up. I bring it up because I do value and appreciate the effort of all of the people. I did stress, and I will again, that this is always a fluid situation. We have a very fluid operation here. Things are subject to change. I like the fact that things are relatively tranquil right now. I believe we've made great strides in achieving the goal of stability here, and that's a credit to all of us in this aquarium. Okay, and I think it needs to be addressed. I think it needs to be emphasized. We've brought stability and harmony, and the employees appreciate that. They appreciate our effort. And I think it reflects it in their caliber of work as well. End of story.
appreciate that, Chuck. That was well said. All right. Community development, parks planning, permits. Gentlemen, what do we got?
You go first.
I get to go first? Wow. Well, there was talk about putting a park out, a pavilion up at the park, and possibly it being ice skating and whatever else. And I think, personally, something that would probably be more beneficial to the community at this point in time would be some sort of pavilion park right behind the library. You're expanding the capabilities of the library to actually hold functions, larger functions. And it's already started with the benches that she's got the money for. So, and then Jason wants to do, which everybody seemed to be excited with, the amphitheater. It's all there on Main Street. We're focusing on Main Street. Maybe we should stay focused on Main Street. And I don't know if we could actually spend $50,000 in doing this, because that's what that grant is. It's like between $50,000 and $70,000 from what I was sent. And 15,000 of it has to be roughly, if we spend like $30,000 in labor, 15,000 of it has to come out of our own pocket. So I was thinking actually maybe we should stage it a little. One of the problems that's happening over there is that's a little bit of a wet area. So when she does do her benches, it's not going to be very accommodating all the time. Maybe we should start off and just do a pad. But you can't really do much of anything until they're surveyed, because we don't even know where the property lines are.
Wouldn't it take not only a survey, would it take some sort of an engineering study?
Or not for drainage, I mean, once we know where we can go.
There's
we
a
know
drain.
It's a bowl.
Okay.
There's a drain there, apparently, right?
Yeah.
There's a drain there,
Yeah, there is.
and
You just gotta
probably part of the reason is because it's grass.
channel it in that direction.
It's getting
You gotta catch the
absorbed.
drain that comes out of Kesey's garage, and it's not, you gotta pick it all, and there's a pipe right there that comes out of the drain, so we get it all, we get it caught, we push it into the fire department's drainage system, and that turns into ours in the States. With these grants and with everything, it seems, my outside opinion, that's a great project, this is a great project, but we kinda gotta get some focus on both or one and get it done. I think it might not be a bad idea for a work session, figure out what you wanna do, write everything down, I mean, it can be.
I actually did do that in email. What wants to be done, write everything down to a point, and provided that information.
Well, that's fine.
And the thing is, we need to start something or plan something. And in order to do that, like I said, you need to get surveys done. And you can't get surveys done until you approve the cost of the surveys.
We
the
have
one-
One for the park.
One for the park.
We
And
have an estimate for this one.
no, we don't, because we don't even have any agreement on getting the park one done. So
That's
it's,
what we're gonna do now.
it's fine, but it could be really easy to set a dollar amount. And then Barbara can contact the person will tell her how much. It ain't gonna be more than $1,200.
I know, it's smaller than,
It's probably gonna be more like 700.
Mhm.
So we could go and approve that. I mean, it's not on the agenda per se, but it's an easy motion to place it on the agenda.
yeah, well, that's fine, I don't have a problem with that. I seen the email stuff, I'm not gonna sit down and read the emails and figure, what we need to do is have a meeting and work this out. You know what I mean? Have a work session, talk about it, get input from everybody. I see your bullet points, and they're very, very well thought out, to your credit, you've been working hard on it, putting a lot of thought to it. But we still need to sit down and banter back and forth, because emails are good, but I'm not gonna sit down and read them and bang out emails. That's
And
just
bringing
not how
up
it
work sessions, have the work sessions been advertised?
We have a standing work session
I
for,
haven't advertised them for the year.
So we have to do that.
well, that's no big deal, and anytime we have them, we can advertise
You
within
need
24 hours.
24 hours.
No, but
That's
Not a
it.
big
we
deal.
were saving costs by doing it just one foul swoop, this day of the month or whatever, and
And we barely ever used it. I think
And we
used it
did.
one time.
And that's why I hadn't done it this
Might as
year.
well save it for when we need it.
Yep.
By rights, probably committee meeting should be 2, but I think it would be better.
and we
Anybody
actually had a
interested in
committee
the
meeting
plan?
yesterday
Oh, good.
and talked about this, and this is why this is being brought up now, because,
Yeah.
two-prong approach.
Well, that's fine. And we'll hear it all, but I do believe we should have some sort of work session to work out the finer points and bring it up. And this is what we'd like to discuss and have a work session for anybody interested in it. I like your idea as far as, let's start drainage and get some prices, get some surveys. Ballpark on what you think a survey, what estimate makes you feel 1,200, with $2,000 for surveying?
Well, if you wanted to do both, do you want to do both?
We need to do all the borough properties.
We do
at some
need to
point
do
in
them
time.
all, but the thing is, how's the funding? Because we can take some from, I guess, the ARP money for that, if we're going to be doing a park.
$10,000 when we raise the taxes, we can use a little bit of that.
Yeah,
Shouldn't we be contacting surveyors and asking them for pricing?
We had a price in the email for the park of
Right.
$1,200.
I think it was $1,200, and that surveyor was recommended by Tyler Hanna.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, okay, I'm gonna budget $1.98 for this thing when it comes in at 80 cents or $4.
Yeah.
So if it comes in under, it's not a problem. If it comes in over, it can't be done until it's voted upon.
I would like to make a motion to have Barb look into the pricing of surveying the park and the library. If the cost comes under $2,000 for surveying both, I give for permission to do it. If it doesn't, it comes back to council for a full vote.
Motion's been made.
I'll second it.
When we say comes back to council, do we mean next month? Because we're also looking at that April 7th deadline, so this is something where things have to be moving faster than these meetings.
The April
Oh, you're
2nd,
not-
we can submit the grant without knowing the full, where the project, we obviously know that it's behind the library.
Well,
to
you
the fire hall.
can't
We can
submit a
still-
grant unless you have all your ducks in a row,
Well,
how
change
big
my
the
budget.
patio's gonna be, how big.
Well, you're not gonna be able to just sit there and write the prices down. you're gonna have to have somebody that does this stuff.
Yes, which means
That
we
builds-
are,
that
with
builds
that,
a pavilion.
You're
that
right.
Does this and does that.
That's why we
and
have an
doesn't lay
engineer.
it out into,
that's why we have an engineer.
okay, then you have an engineering fee along with it,
Yes,
you know what I mean? But you have to, you're gonna have to have contractor that does this, like Tom.
you're right.
Tom, can I just put $10,000 down for that, or, no, you're gonna have to sit there and go, okay, this is gonna be the paving, and this is going to be that.
So what you're
and
saying
it's
is
gonna
I
be
should call the
broken
engineer.
down.
Here's.
That's what I should do, I should
Alright,
call the
hold on.
engineer?
Here's-
Because that's
here's
what it's
how
sounding like.
Here's how we're gonna do this, okay? You put a price out there of $2,000 like Chris's motion in your second. If it comes back that it's more, then we do a phone call
Yes.
straw poll, which we've done before on any of these issues. Hey, it's gonna be $500 more, are all council members in agreement? Yes, we ratify it, we make it official at the next meeting, and then it's taken care of.
That's-
We can move faster on different things, it's easy enough done, and we've done enough of these grants where we get local contractors to give us a non-binding, worst-case scenario bid, like Winterstone and these guys, knowing, don't give us your bottom basement price, because if that's your bottom basement, go high, and make it worst-case scenario, and then when the bids come in, they'll come lower. As far as engineering goes, we'll shop some prices with engineers and see where we're at, and try and get any stamps necessary. We can do these things via the straw poll if we need to. We got a couple months, let's just get everything condensed where we need it, and discussions like this can take place in a work session instead of in the general business meeting.
Sure, and, another aspect of the whole doing it behind the library is through the, grant she's talking about, I guess creation of a new park is great. If it's an ADA, which, well, that could fall in there because Jason wanted to have those ADA doors. Possibly, where, depending on where our property is, it comes down to a pad of some sort for handicap access easier from the parking lot or helipad, whatever it is, but it'd be more of a drop-off point instead of a parking, because I assume once that becomes a helipad, you're not gonna be able to park there.
I have no problem with the library. I do have a problem, we have sat in this meeting, in meetings and complained about the condition of the base, of the park at the top of the hill. All I've heard about the swings aren't good, and this isn't good, and this isn't good. Now we have a chance to write a grant to make that park at least semi-better, and we wanna give it to the library. I have nothing against the library, I think the library's wonderful, but I don't think a park grant should be used for a library, I think it should be used for the park. That's all you guys have complained about.
Yes,
I'm talking, you're not.
okay.
All you guys have complained about is the park needs work. The swings need work, this needs work, that needs work. Okay, we've got $50,000. We can give some to the library park project, but I think we need to focus on getting those swings good for those kids, getting some basketball hoops up there. We know we're not gonna get in 2 months, somebody give us a price to put a pavilion back there. I'm not stupid. Cause you gotta worry about the water lines and the sewer lines, the electric lines. I know all that. But I don't think putting that grant money to the library park, and I understand why you wanna do it, but I think it should go to a recreational park. And that's just my opinion.
Well, see, the things you brought up, the swings and this, that, and the other thing, maintenance is supposed to take care of that. All that's gonna be taken care of. The child swing, we're supposed to order. So all that is being taken care of.
Right.
So it's going to be cleaner, it's going to be